thank you, Cheryl, for being here. I love you.
I love you.
Okay, so this is my second podcast, and Cheryl was nice enough to be on here for me, so I can get more practice. So I start every podcast asking 4 questions. Some of them are easy, some of them are hard. If you don't want to answer it, just don't answer it. Okay?
Sure.
All right, so the first question is, what is your favorite book and why?
Virus X.
What's it about?
It's about RNA and DNA sequencing and mutations of viruses. It's actually read it about 10, 15 years ago.
Is it a fictional book or is it a real one? Like, is it nonfiction?
It's nonfiction.
Nonfiction. So, is it like a one you read in college, that kind of thing, or?
No, I just stumbled across it. It's specifically talked about hantavirus and how it mutates, and talked about flu strains and how viruses are constantly mutating, and it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when for a pandemic, and here we are.
So what drew you to that book, and why do you like it now?
I have no idea what, but I've read it 3 times. I just find it fascinating. They're really able to dumb down the science of it so you can understand it, and it's just really well wrote.
Nice. Number 2, you ready? This one's a hard one. You ready?
Sure.
What's your favorite Star Wars character?
My favorite Star Wars character?
Yeah, you can't be Jar Jar Binks, because that's mine.
I don't know. Probably Yoda, just because I like the way he talks.
Yeah.
And he's wise.
All right. So number 3 is, tell me one of your favorite teaching moments.
My favorite teaching moments?
Yeah, it could be something. It could be anything. Just something. I mean, you're a teacher now. You've been a teacher for a while, so tell me one of those moments that comes to you that like you're a teacher because of this. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think there really is any one moment.
No. But like nothing. Since being a teacher, there hasn't been like a moment that like a little kid was like, "Thank you, Miss Manley," or like you were able to impose your will on a small you know what I mean, like influence, or what drove you to be a teacher? I mean, you've done a lot of different things, so what drives you to be one?
I just like really helping people, and I guess just seeing that aha moment on kids' eyes when they finally get something, and knowing that you're able to facilitate that.
And that's what I mean. Like, so what is there is there anything that ever sticks out?
Different for every child.
So there's not like a one moment that motivates you or anything like that, no?
No, just seeing them struggle through something and finally get it.
Alright, so if there was one thing you could tell your younger self right now, what would it be?
Don't start smoking.
Don't start what? Alright, so you've made it through the first half. So now I'm going to go into your story. So you grew up in England. What part of England?
Northamptonshire.
Northamptonshire. So last year you and I went there. It's like a small country town, right?
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a lot there. What did you do as a child? How long were you there?
I moved to the States when I was 6.
Do you remember any of it? Like being over there? Yeah. What do you remember? So you lived in Northamptonshire the whole time. Was your dad basically gone while you were a child?
No, he was always home.
Oh, okay.
We used to have water gun fights in the backyard. They had a pink hippo and a green alligator squirt guns when it got really hot in the summer.
Nice. And your mom was your mom home too?
Yeah, they worked, when I was really younger, they worked separate hours because we were not very well off.
Home, yeah. So you went and then when you were in Northamptonshire, were you in the same place the whole time? Or did you go to different places when you were young?
I guess when I was first born, we lived on the high street in Rushden in a nice Victorian home, but I was too young to remember that. We always had the home that I know of. which
Oh,
was
okay.
our just brown brick home.
So you were 6 when you moved to the States.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? Did you? It's probably hard to tell from being 6 years old, but do you remember any culture shock that you had, or maybe like from school that was different, or anything that was just?
Yeah, I had horrible culture shock. I hated it here. When I first moved here, I used to cry all the time.
And when you first moved here, you moved right to California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Southern California.
What part?
El Toro, which is now Lake Forest.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So that was. So from your childhood, did you live in El Toro throughout your whole childhood up till when you were an adult?
No.
No.
No, moved all up and down the coast. Lived in Northern California for a while, and then back down to Southern California.
Oh, wow. So you've been all over. What would you say your favorite part of California is?
The part where you leave.
You hated it that much? I
It's-
mean, it could be anything like scenery or.
No, it was
I know.
really nice growing up. It's not like that now. It's pretty. It's a shithole now. I hate California. You couldn't pay me to move back there, but growing up, when we lived in Orange County, it was actually still had orange groves. So
Mhm.
I have very fond memories of it being a really hot summer and driving down the 405, and all you can smell is oranges.
Wow. That's crazy. So, and during that time, so how was high school and all that there?
High school? I don't have anything else to compare it to, so.
I know, but what was it? When I picture high school for California, over rather than here, it's what you see on like movies. You don't see like freezing like snow up to your face, and you know what I'm saying. Like,
I didn't know what a snow day was at school until I moved over here. No.
really.
No. And all our schools, for the majority, are outdoors.
Now, how big was your high school? Huge.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
pretty big.
How
I
was
mean,
the-
I went to 2 high schools, so.
Oh, okay. Were both of them huge?
Yes. Second one.
And what I
was
picture
bigger.
too is like high school in California. You got like superstar kids. That's what you like. No,
No.
not like that. Okay.
No.
So you didn't go to school with like, I don't know, some movie star or anything.
No.
No. And you had your group of kids that you did hang out with.
Right.
You talked about Drew. Who else was part of your little clique?
My friend Melanie, that's probably going to be going to our wedding. She's probably one of my nearest and dearest friends. I've known her since I was, geez, I can't even remember. I mean, I'm originally at 12, maybe 11.
Wow. And you guys still talk to this day?
Who?
You, Drew, and Melanie, pretty much.
Oh, Melanie. Yeah, I would hope so. I invited her to the wedding.
Oh yeah.
Drew and I talk on Facebook. I mean, I know if I contacted him and said I needed to talk to him, I would. But he was my best friend in junior high growing up. So
Nice. Oh, not in high school.
junior high school, yeah.
Yeah. So then, from high school, where did you live?
High school, I lived in. It's still in Lake Forest, different house.
And once you graduated high school, what did you do right after?
I went to home studies my last year of high school and went to beauty college. So I graduated beauty college 2 months after I graduated high school.
Nice. Diana's making a guest appearance. Hi. Go away. So you went to beauty college. How long was that?
It's 1,800 hours. It took me just over a year.
So you did hair and nails?
No, just hair.
Just hair.
I'm not very good at nails.
And then once you did that, is that when you became a vet tech after that?
Yeah, I didn't do hair right out of beauty college. I was a vet tech probably until I think I was about 20.
Mm-hmm. What was the coolest animal you got to do to mess around with, being a vet tech?
Black leopard.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Did you get a lot of different weird animals, or was it mostly?
No, that
Like
was actually
domestic.
a friend of mine that was also a vet tech. Invited me to go to the Puma Sanctuary and do some surgeries on them.
Oh wow, that's awesome. And how long were you a vet tech?
2 years, I think. Not very long.
I can only imagine what this is gonna look like. Guest appearance. It's Diane.
We should interview her next.
Huh?
You
I
can-
know, right? Okay, so you were a vet tech, and then you said you were a vet tech first, and then you were a hairstylist.
Mm-hmm.
And then what did you do after that?
Went to college.
That's when you went to study to become a teacher?
Nope, I got my bachelor's in history first. I volunteered for a while at a local museum and worked in the hermetic vault, so that was pretty fun.
What did you do there?
Cataloged and counted bones.
Really? What kind of bones? So, getting back to it, you said you cataloged bones in, what was it called?
Oh, I can't remember the name of the place. It's
Oh.
just a tiny museum off the side of the 78 in
Did you-
Escondido.
No, you said bones. Did you get like weird books or anything too?
No, this is more of like a Native American museum.
Oh wow, that's cool. What kind of Native American people were you messing around with? That's probably a terrible way of asking that, but you know what I mean. What kind of, what kind of
I
Native-
didn't get that information. I just
Oh, really?
had a box of bones that said there's 72 bones in here, count them, and make sure there's 72 bones in here. It was real fucking exciting.
So they don't really go into detail of like how old they were. You can't really tell if it was a child or the age of how old
Oh,
they
I'm
were.
sure you could if that was your job, but my job was just to be the help.
So you basically just counted bones, and that was it.
Yeah, I learned flint napping there.
What's flint napping?
It's how you make arrowheads.
Oh, really?
You strike one stone with another so that you get chips off of it. I learned how to do that with obsidian and slit my hand open, so that was fun.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So from there, then you went back to school, more college. All right, nice.
Graduated college and then got divorced, graduated college, and moved out here for more college.
College all day. Nice. And you've been all over the world. What's the first place you remember going?
America.
After America.
Probably St. Thomas. I think that's probably one of the first places I went.
And how was that?
Awesome.
What did you do?
Went snorkeling.
Nice. That was it?
Well, I was still pretty young. I think I was only 7 or 8 at the time.
Oh, okay. Where else have you been?
Probably to the majority of the Caribbean islands, Romania, Estonia, Russia.
Now, when you were in Russia, what was that like?
It was beautiful.
Were you there during the summer or winter?
Summer.
All I picture in Russia is freezing cold weather.
No, it's gorgeous. It was nice and warm.
What part of Russia were you in?
Went into Moscow and St. Petersburg
Nice.
as well.
What did you do when you were there?
St. Petersburg, I went around Peterhof Castle, which is a beautiful castle close to the water. It was built to look like Versailles, and it certainly does look like Versailles. Got to go on one of those bitchin' hydro boats there that lifts up on like the little skis.
Mm-hmm.
And then also took the subway into... That was not
We're
graceful.
gonna look like cat abusers.
I took the subway into Moscow to go to the Red Square, where I went to Karl Marx's, or not Karl Marx's. Can't remember. It's not Karl Marx. I can't remember his name right now, but his grave is in the square there, Red Square. It's escaping me, but he was a famous dude. I cannot for the life of me think of his name right now. It's terrible.
So, what was he famous for? A writer?
No, he was famous during the communism uprising.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name, and he's like, I'm gonna kick myself. He's like super important to like the Russian Revolution.
You took it, yeah. Okay, so you were in Russia. What else? What other things did you do? You go bar hopping or anything, or?
No, I was on a cruise. We only had 3 days there because you have to go on what's called an umbrella visa, which basically means that you get into the country through the cruise ship. Otherwise, you have to apply for a special visa to get. Russia doesn't like people coming in there.
And when you were there, like, how did you go about like shopping and stuff? Did they speak English for the most part?
No, they don't.
No. So
No.
how did you go about buying stuff?
You just do. I want this. How much is it?
And when I picture Russian, and I'm ignorant, I've never been to Russia, but I just picture like techno music, big burly dudes wearing wife beaters.
No.
No?
No. No, they're very sullen looking.
Yeah, I get that too. Nice. So,
But I have Russian friends, so.
yeah. Oh,
This-
were they with you during that?
No.
Oh, okay, that would have helped.
No, I almost did call my friend Yevon, though, because my mom and I wanted a beer really bad, and I couldn't understand how to. Because their language is so different,
Mm-hmm.
couldn't even start to try and ask for a beer, and I'm like, I'm going to call him in a second, and then we just give up.
Yeah. Nice. You've also been to Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
and how is that? So, describe. So, sorry, not to go into that first. So, were you originally planning on going to Egypt? Is that your goal, or did you go to like surrounding areas and then you ended up in Egypt? You know what I'm saying? Was it all part of one?
I have a cruise. That's one of my favorite ways to travel. You get to see a lot of places. Don't have to worry about permits of getting into countries and whatnot.
So,
Visas, I should say, not permits.
oh, okay. All right. So, describe Egypt.
Egypt?
Yeah. I
I
heard it
lo-
was cold.
It wasn't cold when I went. It can get cold.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was
it can
being.
I know you were being sarcastic, but it can snow there, I believe, once in a while.
Well,
It's a desert. All deserts get cold.
yeah. Kuwait gets really cold during the wintertime. So. At nighttime, during the day, it's still hot as
Hot as hell, yeah. It wasn't that hot when we were there, luckily. We were unfortunate to be there during a sandstorm, which sucks.
Yeah.
If any...
Now, do you really think aliens built it, or do you just think it was giants, like, built from slaves?
I don't know. They're pretty damn big.
Really?
Mm.
Wow. Did you see the Sphinx, too, when you were there?
Yep. Well, it was kind of cool to stand where I believe it was my great-great-grandfather stood during the war.
Really? Oh, did you get a picture of that?
No.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Sandstorm.
Sandstorm, yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
hard to take pictures of anything. I got sand in my camera when we were in Egypt, and I didn't even have my camera out. I had to go and get it cleaned when we were in Cyprus.
Not a lot of people can really relate to, like, sandstorms. So, like...
Gets everywhere in
Yeah.
your gums, in your
Yeah.
teeth. Like I had to have my jeans clean. They were literally sandblasted. Like I don't know how grains of sand got in between like the weavings of my jeans. It was insane.
Yeah, I got a duffel bag upstairs that probably still has Kuwaiti sand in it and Iraq sand in it. So I totally know. Yeah, like I'd go in, take a shower, and then I'd walk outside in the middle of a sandstorm and just be dirty again. So I'm just like, you know what? What's the point?
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's so
You
fine
can't
too.
breathe. You
Yeah.
have to cover. You really do have to cover your mouth. You cannot breathe.
Yeah. So when you were at the pyramids, was it a sandstorm then too?
It had just started right after we got there, so we got to see them. I mean, they're impressive. Where they're located is not so much. I mean, it's really disappointing that you can sit on the pyramid and look across the street at McDonald's.
Yeah, you were mentioning that too. So like, there's a McDonald's. Is there any other things, or is it just
Well,
McDonald's?
there's a bunch of stores and other bullshit around it, but yeah, it wasn't the most impressive ruins I've ever seen.
Yeah. You've seen better.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Ephesus in Turkey.
Really? What was
Mhm.
that like?
That's an old Roman town. It's gorgeous. I mean, there's a lot of old statues to Nike, which is where Nike got her name from.
Mm-hmm.
Old toilets, old carvings in the stones to point to which way the brothel is.
Really?
Yeah.
So when you say old toilets, what was it? Just like open?
A giant room with stone toilets with holes in them where you can
Wow.
communal, the public shitter, as they say.
I think we gotta install a communal shitter upstairs.
All right.
Make it a little bit more intimate. Facing each other when we go poo.
Okay.
We can hold hands. Okay.
A lover's toilet?
Yeah. So we know where each other are at all times when we're pooping.
Okay.
So what was different between those ruins and then the ones in Egypt?
I just think the level of protection.
Oh, how like they took care of them.
Mm-hmm. And they were boarded off. I don't think they should have built so close to the pyramids. It doesn't give you that awe. Maybe coming from the other direction, because on the other side of the pyramids, it's nothing but desert. So that may have been a little... I heard the Valley of the Kings is stunning. I've always wanted to go back to Egypt.
Was it also a lot of desert in both places? Like Turkey, is it a lot of...
No, Turkey doesn't have a lot of desert.
What was it like?
It looks like any metropolitan area. The most desert I saw was in Morocco.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
It was worse than... So Morocco was worse than Egypt?
Yeah, I don't know. It may have been where we came in. I mean, we came in through the port of Alexandria, so you're driving there and then into Cairo.
Wow.
So when we went to Morocco, we docked in Casablanca and drove to the Medina, which is quite a drive. So we drove for a good 3 hours through the desert.
Did you drive, or did your dad?
Fuck no, we're on a coach, we're on a cruise.
Oh,
My dad would never be seen again.
You'd still
Or
be
the
out
car
there.
to be broken.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's great. So you've been in Morocco, I know you've been to Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do there? You went with your mom there.
Mm-hmm. Just went there right before I met you. Went to the Dark Hedges. Dragged my mom on pretty much every Game of Thrones tour we could possibly go on.
Nice.
Got to see the Giant's Causeway, which is what you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go to Waterford in Cork County. Went to Belfast, which was kind of eerie for me. It made me a little bit uncomfortable driving through Belfast.
Is that Northern Ireland?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, being English and...
Not very well liked there still.
Yeah.
Seeing all the different, like, you can see the divide between the royalists and the nationalists. There's, like, giant barbed fences that, like, segregate neighborhoods and stuff, and there's still a lot of... I mean, it's beautiful to see all the propaganda artwork on the walls,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a little unsettling. I mean, obviously, no one can tell I'm English because I sound like a Yank, but...
Yeah. Nice. Did we miss any place?
Hmm?
Did we miss any place yet
Any place what?
that you've been to? To the microphone?
No, it was your tummy, wasn't it? It's Chewbacca.
Nice.
Well, it wasn't me.
But it was
It was not. Italy, France,
nice.
Germany.
So if you had any place you could go to now, if Rona wasn't around, where would you want to go and why?
I really want to go to Norway.
I know for our honeymoon we're going back. Well, you're going back to Ireland. I'm going for the first time, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm.
We had plans to go to Rome in August, but we didn't end up going because of Rona. Like ruined that too. So, trying to think. Alaska's on our list. We're gonna do the Route 66 is on the list. That's gonna be our backup if we don't end up going to Ireland. That'd be a lot of fun.
We're going to Ireland. It just might be postponed.
Yeah. So.
I really want you to go to Iceland.
Yeah, I want to go there too.
I think you'd fall in love with it. I'd like to go back, and I only went. There's a quick stop on the way to England.
I watched my buddy Kenny mountain climbing in Iceland. I'm just like, and I could hear his breathing climbing up that friggin' mountain, wherever. I don't know where he was. I knew he was in Iceland. I don't know how high he was, but that looked insane.
Can't be that high.
No?
No.
I thought like they have a giant volcano up there.
They have a volcano. I don't know how big it is per se. It's still a young island. It's active still, so it's still growing, but it has its own its own heartbeat, its own life.
Yeah,
It's,
wherever he was, it looked high. It looked pretty cool.
It could be. I mean, I don't think the middle of the island's that high, but I could be mistaken.
So on your travels, have you met any famous people? I mean, you've been to your one of your hobbies is going to Comic Cons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and just so you know, Cheryl is probably the biggest Doctor Who fan I've ever met in my life. I've met others, and it's kind of like a cult following. Like, if you like Doctor Who, there's like a button hidden in someone in their room, and then all the propaganda, or propaganda is not probably the right word to use, but everything Doctor Who just suddenly appears. Cheryl has a whole room dedicated to Doctor Who. She knows she could probably name from start to finish all the different doctors, right? Right?
No, I can't do that.
No?
No.
But you've met how many of them?
3 or 4 of them?
3 or 4 of them. Do you have a favorite episode?
No.
No. They're all good.
Hmm. Some are better than others.
Have you watched every episode since beginning to end?
No, not every episode, because probably the first Doctor and the second Doctor, a lot of those episodes are lost. They were damaged by BBC.
No, really.
And I believe in a fire, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but my first Doctor was the the fourth Doctor. Fifth Doctor.
Oh, really? Nice. Who else have you met?
Famous people?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're from California, so they're basically from LA. So, like...
Nicolas Cage, Sting, Rob Zombie, Jimmy Buffett. I used to work for Camel Cigarettes, so I met a lot of musicians just working at the amphitheaters and stuff.
I hope I get your mom on here, because she met Jimi Hendrix, right?
Yeah.
And she used to do hair for
Lulu.
So
She's a very famous singer in England.
yeah, I want to pick her brain. And she used to work. Her mom also worked at a slaughter factory. So like, you want to meet someone who's had all kinds of cool jobs? Her mom's on there.
I don't know if you'll get her to talk to you.
I don't think she will, but it would be cool if she did. Can we get into your religion at all, or do you not like talking about that?
I can. I don't know what you want to know about it.
So when I first met Cheryl, I'm Christian, and Cheryl is, I'm gonna say heathen, but you're not. What is that?
Heathen.
What are you? You
You're
are
right.
heathen?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that what the actual term of it is?
Heathenism.
Heathenism.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the worship of many older gods like Odin and...
Of Norse gods, to be specific, yes.
So what's the separation between heathenism and Wiccan? Nice. Delete that. Okay, so what was it like having, you came from England, you came over here, and you're still like not an American because you're not.
I'm a resident alien.
Yeah. How is that? Like constantly having to renew your green card and all that.
It's okay. It's like every 10 years, I believe, or 20. I don't honestly pay attention to how often it is, but
Is your mom one too?
everybody is.
No, I'm saying like I know your dad is an American now, but is your mom? She nationalized now, or?
No. Only my dad's the only traitor.
So from my point of view, there's the English chocolate is amazing. Marmite is
Amazing.
disgusting.
Amazing.
It's disgusting.
I had
So
that for
Marmite
lunch today.
So the first time I ever had Marmite, I was with Cheryl for maybe 2 weeks. We were, messing around, and then she's like, "Oh, have you had Marmite?" I was like, "No, it looked like Nutella. It's same consistency. It's brown." She's like, "Oh, you have it on toast." So I'm like, "All right," thinking it's peanut butter. It tastes like death.
It's delicious. And it's good for you.
And you have it on everything. It's gross.
Mm-hmm.
It's nasty. So, what other things? I'm trying to think of other things that's better in England than it is here. What would you say?
Sausages.
Sausages, yeah.
I love Ribena. You can't get that here.
No.
Black currants in general you can't get here. You don't eat gooseberries here. You don't eat custard. Bird's
No, we have
custard.
custard.
Not like English custard.
No.
Bird's custard. Scones. Nice cream tea. You don't have proper tea. I don't know why. You fuckers drink it cold. It's disgusting.
Because a lot of it we got rid of in Boston.
I tell you one thing America does way better than England is steak.
Yeah.
Don't ever order steak in England. You'll be disappointed.
So when we were in England, I showed, we were down the street from a doner kebab thing, and when I was in Germany,
Those are good.
I showed Cheryl that. Since then, we've been all into doner kebabs. When we went to England, the same day we went, we crossed Abbey Road when Prince Charles or Prince Henry crossed. Was it Henry? The guy that was in the military. Curly hair?
Harry.
Harry. Okay, yeah. So we crossed the same day he did. It was raining that day. Bon Jovi was there that day too. Yeah, that was
They were
cool.
doing was it a Live Aid or some sort of commercial for
that's
his
what it was.
charity,
Yeah, for
Harry's charity.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. So the Imperial War Museum, that was fantastic. I wish we could have got photos of. I mean, if you're ever in England and you don't want to like do the, I guess, traditional thing, definitely like check out the Imperial War Museum because that was fantastic. But yeah, definitely check out the Imperial War Museum. They have a cool World War II exhibit that was pretty powerful. They have all these old uniforms of old prisoners, and they literally have like walls of faces of people who were in the concentration camps. That was pretty powerful. And then we didn't really get photos of that because we weren't allowed to do that. But the next floor up, they had all these amazing medals. It seemed like if you served in the British Guard, you got decorated. That's all I said. I was like, holy crap! Like so many different decorations for stuff. That was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool. Where else did we go? We saw we got to hold monkeys in the zoo.
That was your birthday present.
Yeah, got to hold monkeys. What else did we do? But we went to some light show when we were there.
Yeah, you get Lightopia. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Never done anything like that there before.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it because that's something we could do over here too.
Well, we just did that to
Kill time.
go out in the evening.
What else did we
Get a
do?
kebab. We went to a lot of kebabs.
Yeah, we got a lot of kebabs. Our where we stayed was really nice. We did the Airbnb thing, and it wasn't really expensive, but it was,
No, close to the subway so we could get around. How'd you like the subway? The tube.
the tube. We took it once, maybe twice, and then I was like, nope, we're not doing this anymore. I was like, just a lot of people and just being squished into it, and I'm sure it's just like New York, but I would rather have just paid a little bit more and just taken a taxi, just because.
I love the tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Campton was awesome. We didn't stay too much.
Camden.
Camden? Is that what it was? It reminded me of like back in the 80s, they had all these old school vans that had graffiti sprayed on the side.
You didn't do it justice. We need to go during the day. That's where Amy Winehouse is from. A lot of good music comes out of Camden. It's where like all the punk rockers hang out. It's really cool. Plus they've got amazing food there.
Yeah. It looked just like you were in the friggin' Ninja Turtles. Because like you just picture these like old school like vans that were spray painted like you would think of like the 80s. It was like walking back into the time when like it was the 80s. I thought that was pretty cool. Then we met Miss Maggie there. We had dinner. That was pretty fun.
We had dinner in Covent Garden.
Yeah. What was that? I can't remember that restaurant.
Punch and Judy.
Punch and Judy. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Where else did we go? Oh, we went to
Buckingham Palace.
Yep. Oh, totally forgot about that. Met the Queen. She was fantastic. But you must not have known we were coming. That's why, like, we had to stay outside or whatnot. Fun fact: they don't always wear red and black hats. They also wear purple. Because I found that out.
It's blue.
They have purple too. That's not purple.
Okay. If you say so.
We saw the Tower of London. That was nice.
Yeah.
Lots of birds.
To go see them.
Huh?
We didn't get to go see the
No.
ravens though, and now Marlena's died.
Yeah. It's
I'm very
Marlena.
sad about that.
She's one of the ravens. How many are there?
There always has to be 6 because if there's any less than 6, it's said that the monarchy will fall. But I believe there's 7 now. Marlena's gone. She just died about 2 weeks ago.
So what's the new one that replaced her?
They don't have one yet.
So now they're down to 6. So they had 7 because the other.
No,
one
I
was
think
old.
they're down to 7 now. Poppy's the youngest. She was born about two years ago, I think.
Oh, okay. So that will live on.
Marlena was my favorite though. She's sassy.
Yeah.
I have pictures with her.
Oh wow. From the last time we were there.
I always try to go home and see the ravens.
Yeah. It was a long line.
Well, we went there for a long time.
No.
There's a lot of things you didn't get to see that I would have liked for you to have seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like well, you saw a bit of the countryside but up in Yorkshire, it's very famous for hiking. You'd love it up there, the Lakes District.
Yeah. That's gonna be inappropriate. Never mind. I can go there. So when you went to France, were people there mean?
No, I love the French. They're
So every
some of the
time-
kindest people.
A lot of people that when I was in Germany, a lot of people went to France and they're like, they're so mean to Americans and.
That's because Americans are rude when they're on vacation.
And what about it smelling? I heard it stinks.
No,
No?
not to
sure.
me.
No. Did you go to the Eiffel Tower?
Le Tour Eiffel, yes. I've been down the Champs-Elysees. I've been to the Louvre. I've been to Versailles. I've been to Montmartre, Le Sacré-Cœur. I've been all over France.
No, when you went there, I hear the Eiffel Tower isn't really worth going to see. Is it true? Like, I hear it's like a long. What was the longest line that you had to wait to go see?
In Paris?
Yeah.
I can't say that I really stood in line for anything. I've been up the Eiffel Tower.
Wasn't bad.
No.
Oh, how about? That's another thing I heard.
I mean, I grew up going to Disneyland, so
Oh yeah.
go on lines all the time. Like 45 minutes is not an issue.
True. Yeah. I thought it was even longer than that. I didn't know it was that.
I imagine it. I try not to travel during peak travel season. For that reason.
So, what was your favorite thing to see in France?
So far, I don't know. Versailles is gorgeous, and I wish I would have spent more time there because I didn't get to look around all the gardens. Just knowing the history of it and how pinnacle the creation of Versailles was to the fall of royalty in France and how it helped spur the revolution of France, to me is probably one of the most fascinating and beautiful places. I also like going to at the top of the hill. Montmartre is at the top of the hill. You can take a funicular up there. It's where like the Bohemian kind of revolution of France started. That's where Aubrey Beardsley used to hang out, and he's one of my favorite artists. And you can overlook all of Paris from up there. It's beautiful.
Wow. And have you ever been to Stonehenge? When you went, I mean, you've been.
No, I've never been to Stonehenge.
No. Really?
Honestly, I have not.
Wow.
I've always wanted to go. I just don't. It's in a weird spot. It's not like somewhere you go in England. Like, oh, let's go there for vacation. Like, you have to go out of your way to go to Stonehenge. And it's not, like, off any of the motorways. So you don't just, like, pop off real quick.
That was something I wanted to go into, too, is, like, when we first got there.
Oh, what, my driving?
Oh, it's funny, that was the first thing you thought of. So we first get there. And Cheryl's like, yeah, we'll just rent a car. And I'm like, all right, no big deal. And I knew that they drove on the opposite side, like the steering wheel's on the opposite side. But, oh my God. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, just knowing you're in the passenger seat and a car is literally like to the left of you. It was bugging me. I'm holding on to like the shit handle. Cheryl's like, "Do you just want to sit in the back seat?"
That was
Like
hilarious.
she's driving just fine, but in my head I'm just like an old lady, like, slow down. Oh my god, I'm gonna die.
Well, we do drive fast over there.
Yeah, you drive fast, and it's on the opposite side. So, and there's different. It's kind of like Germany. It's different rules. Like,
I grew up with it, so it doesn't seem foreign to me.
yeah. Well, for me, I'm just like, oh my god, this sucks. But yeah, we drove from.
You drove in the parking lot.
I drove in the parking lot.
You drove like 20 feet.
I drove 20 feet in England. Yep. That's what I did. Check that off the old bucket list, huh? Drove in England.
I'll get you going down the motorway next time.
Yeah, that's not happening. No. You'll be holding on to the shit handle because I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. And like in Germany, you still drive on the same side of the road, and a lot of people like think because there's no speed limit, like there really is kind of like a standard, like. And the highways are so spread out that, yeah, you can go as fast as you want, but, like, it's not like you're having fun doing it because you're driving down these long highways that it's just boring anyway, so. Yeah, I remember. That was kind of boring. It's not what it cried. I mean, Autobahn just stands, like, everyone's like, oh my god, you drove on the Autobahn? I'm like, yeah, it means highway in Germany.
Yeah.
So it's just whatever. What's your favorite horror movie?
I don't really have one.
No.
Growing up, it was Hellraiser because I had a big crush on Pinhead.
Yeah, Hellraiser. I remember eating ice cream, and my buddy Derek would, like, put on Hellraiser while I'm trying to eat ice cream, and it'd be spitting it out because, like, you just see, like, someone's face get ripped off. Now it doesn't. I don't really give two shits, but you're a small child and you
it's
see
traumatic.
And that's why, like, nowadays, recently we went out to see a scary movie with my buddy Bruce for his birthday.
That was the best thing ever.
It was so much fun. So we're there, and Bruce's wife and him, they're not really big, and Jeff too, they're not big horror movie fans. They thought they were going to see, what was it, Freaky?
We saw Freaky Friday. They thought it was like a funny movie, which it is funny.
Yeah, it's funny, but like they didn't realize what they were getting into. Like at one point, the bad guy was standing behind him, and then just hearing Josie like scream. It was. Or
watching them was comical.
Yeah, that was more fun than
She's
watching.
Like,
the
we're
movie
sleeping
itself.
with the lights on tonight.
It was so much fun. Yeah, we had a blast. That was a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you said Pinhead was your favorite scary movie. I'm trying to think of. You said your buddy Drew he still does make scary movies too, right?
Yeah, he just made Pool Party Massacre was his first one that he actually made himself. So
Wow.
and they're in the process of making Pool Party Massacre too.
Yeah, I see like everything on his Facebook. Is he an art? Like, does he make the actual? Is he an artist when it comes to that? Like, does he do the special effects kind of things, or is he more of just the film side of it, or does he do it all?
Filming, and he got into acting. I mean, he's just Drew. He's awesome. He's always been that way. He's always been a very charismatic, fun guy, and he's always loved to do like be goofy. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like natural for him to fall into that role.
Mm. Nice.
You would love him, and he'd love you. He's hilarious.
Yeah, I saw that thing he did for Christmas. He like just like up like Santa, and didn't he like make it look kind of gory too?
Well, I think he filmed he starred in a movie as like a hobo Santa, I believe. Like he always does like the B-reel slasher movies.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So getting into getting married, let's talk about us. So when you first started talking to me, funny story. We started talking online, and the first time I ever went over to Cheryl's house, she threatened me with a hammer before I got there. She said she would hit me with it. What was it? Like, basically, like, yeah, you can come over, but I have a hammer. So I was like, oh, God.
Might murder you.
Yeah, she might murder me. So I was like, I'm gonna make this happen. So, what was your first thoughts when you met me? And I'll tell you what my first thoughts when I first met you.
When I first met you?
Mm-hmm. Like when I first walked in and we first started talking. So, by the way, first time we met, she made barely any eye contact. I think you were
Because I'm
mostly
shy.
Yeah, shy and nervous.
You wouldn't even sit on the couch with me.
Well, no. Well, like to be fair, Miss Nike was there.
Still.
Yeah.
You sat on the chair across the room from me
I
and bolted out the door after the movie, like, peace out. I was like, I don't think he likes me.
Well, no, it's just because it was. I think we were both really nervous.
Yeah, I agree.
And then once we started playing video games together, and we had something because like it's always awkward when you go on a first date and you watch like a movie or something because like you want to talk but you also don't want to interrupt the movie.
Right.
So, but once we started playing video games and stuff and getting to know each other.
Plus, I'm really fucking dorky and shy and awkward, and I have anxiety, so
No.
I don't like people. Not the easiest person to get to know.
Yeah, it's always weird when like you first like meet someone who's like, you know, one word, yep, nope, yep, nope, and you're not looking at it, it's like, oh god, like, how are we gonna do this? But it was, I'm really glad because like,
Now you just wish I'd shut up sometimes.
no, like it's cool that you're doing this because I think more people will be able to see this. Unless they're really close to you, like, you know, Heather or Amy or, you know, one of your close friends, they don't really get to see the side of you because you have this really, like...
Resting bitch face.
resting bitch face and, like, don't fucking talk to me because I'm just gonna, yes, no, and leave me alone. But that's what...
British in me.
Yeah.
It's a mixture of everything.
And then we went on our first date together, and that was at the movies, and neither of us can remember the movie we went and saw. I know it was a horror movie, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember waiting in the theater. So, Cheryl has a horrible sense of direction.
I don't have a horrible sense of direction. I just don't know New Hampshire that well.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that. So I'm at the movie theater, and she's like, I think I'm, in Maine, or...
No, I went to the other Cinemagic. And then I drove down, which I now know was the,
You went to Regal.
I went to Spalding Turnpike. So I think that's down by Nashua. I went all over New Hampshire. All over it.
So I'm in the... How did you even find the place? Oh, did I give you the address?
I stopped at the other friggin' Cinemagic, and they gave me the address. Because
That's
that
right.
place doesn't have an address.
Yeah. Yeah, it has like 39 Cinemagic roads, so you can never
Gentleman would have come and picked me up.
Yeah. 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 Awkward. That's awesome.
It's okay. It makes for a good story.
Mm-hmm. And then, so we basically spent the year together. We grew together. We had a lot of fun. Like, I mean, England was a quick trip, but then that's when coronavirus started. And I think, like most relationships, I mean, for us, I feel it brought us closer because there's really nothing we could do outside. So we basically had to come up with fun stuff to do inside. So we started making cool videos or picture. You'd cook, and I'd take pictures of the fun stuff that like you do. We'd find a random cookbook and was like, all right, let's try making it. I wouldn't. I just eat the stuff. I'd take the photos, and Cheryl would make it. What other stuff did we do to keep this past year like?
Nerf Wars.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I'd come home from work every now and then, and that was some of the fun stuff that I really enjoyed about Cheryl. Is like, you'd walk in the house, you don't know what you're gonna get. You'd get one Halloween. Oh, no, was it Halloween or was it near? It was close to Halloween. I came in and it had the guy from Jigsaw, the friggin'
Billy.
Yeah, the guy on the tricycle that you see on Jigsaw sitting outside saying, "You want to play a game?" or something like that. And came inside, there was strobe lights in the house, and Cheryl started shooting me with, like, it was a laser tag. That was laser tag.
That was laser tag.
Yeah, so, I mean, between Nerf Wars, laser tag, or...
We glass of wine on the back patio and painting.
Yeah,
that was your idea, which was awesome. We need to do that again when it gets warm.
Yeah, chill out in the hot tub. We've had friends over.
Gardening.
Yeah. We've learned a lot about gardening. We have 4 chickens now. Named them all after famous singers. Beyonce, Madonna, Cher, and Shakira. They're still hanging out there even though it's like 3 degrees outside.
They're fine. They're tough girls.
Yeah. But I think we've really grown together this past year. For me, I wanted to propose in a different way, but I'm glad I did the way I did.
It was awesome.
More fun. So I pretended I got hurt, and Cheryl was freaking out. She ran upstairs after me and was
I thought you were gonna shoot me with a Nerf gun, is what I really thought. So I came around the corner all guarded. I'm like, I'm gonna get hit by something.
And for me, like, you know, being with Cheryl, we just talked about this the other night. You know, driving home from the movies is like, some relationships they worry about infidelity, or they worry about the fighting, or there's constant, you know, arguments or whatever. But with Cheryl and I, and the one thing my biggest fear with being with Cheryl is time, because like being with her, time flies so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
it does.
We've been together a year and a half almost, and it's just like, whew, you know.
Yeah, but in other instances, I feel like I've known you my whole life.
Yeah, because I mean, we have our fights like any relationship, but like we know each other. Like if Cheryl's having a day that she's really like not in the mood to have me around, and she's just in a sad space or whatever, then that's when I come on even harder and start making her laugh.
Yeah, you do.
You know, or and vice versa, I could be moody or grumpy, and she knows that the way to react to that to me, and which is fantastic, because in old relationships, you know, vice versa, the person might not react the way you needed them to in that instance, you know?
I agree. Fighting with you is different than fighting with anybody else.
Yeah.
I don't dread fighting with you. Nobody likes to fight.
Right. And I don't even know if fighting is a way to say it. It's just like, like everyone has
not on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah, miscommunication.
Right.
You know?
I mean, we don't have fights.
No.
Fights.
Yeah. It's just miscommunication, and that's like something, no matter, I think we'll be together, like, we'll be old and gray and still, you know, no one's ever on 100%.
Nope.
But I think we've gotten past that point, that we have way more good times than any, you know.
Any argument we ever have brings us closer.
Yeah.
It doesn't do the opposite. So.
Exactly. Yeah, there's, you know, whenever you're around, or if you're not around, I'm thinking about you. If you're next to me, I'm watching a movie, I'm thinking about you. So.
You know I'm always bugging you.
Yeah. So, like, what's different for you in this relationship?
In what sense?
You know, like, how do you know I'm the one?
I don't know. My soul just speaks to your soul. I just love you to pieces. We get together. When we're together, it's like so natural. It's just like you are the part of me that has always been missing.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, like a lot of people like use that, like, you're my best friend, but it's true. It's like, you know, I can tell you about, you're the only person that, like, I've been able to, like, feel insecure around and be okay. Most of the time you gotta put on that fake face, or...
Yeah, I have zero filter around you. I am myself. I know you won't judge me, and I know, like, I don't have any fear of you rejecting who I am at my core.
And you know, I embrace, like, the dorkiness. Like, I love it. Like, she, you know, she likes Star Wars. It's weird because, like, she'll wear, the other day, I'm sleeping, I wake up, and the first thing, because before she leaves to go to school, she always gives me a kiss before she leaves. And she was wearing this white blouse, and I'm like, oh my god, babe, you look so beautiful wearing that. And then I get to work, and she gets to work, and later on I'm working out, and I was like, she messages me, and then I message her, and I was like, that blouse looked really good on you. She's like, yeah, I got it. It's a Star Wars blouse. I was like, what? And she sent me what kind of, is it from?
It's Rey from the new Star Wars.
Yeah,
it's
Rey
a
from...
company called Her Universe, which I love all their clothes. So.
No clue. So, like, I know whenever it comes to, like, gifts or anything, like, you're super easy. It's like, go Star Wars, go Harry Potter,
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, oh yeah. I haven't really gone Doctor Who on you yet. I've gone Harry Potter a little bit, and I've gone Star Wars, but I try to stay away from Doctor Who, because it's, I mean, what do you get the person who has everything of Doctor Who? Like,
You wait for the next Doctor.
Yeah, then you can go nuts on it.
But this is Jodie Whittaker's last year, so we'll be getting a new Doctor soon.
Oh, really?
Time for another regeneration.
Oh, that's our first female.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what have they had a black one yet?
No.
No. I wonder what they'll do.
Let's see color.
I don't either. So I know whatever that.
I got to use your line on you.
I know, yeah, I use it all the time. If she grabs like a
black trash bag.
like, can you grab me a black trash bag? I was like, whoa, I don't see color. We're gonna have to cut those out, but that's what it is.
Why? Because somebody will get upset.
Yeah, but it's still funny. I use that all the time. I use it on. I think I use it on your parents.
Probably.
I use it for anything. It could be. It didn't have to be black. It could be purple. And I'm like, whoa. I don't see color. Which is fine. I love messing with people. So yeah. So I guess we'll get ready to wrap this up. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No. Live long and prosper.
Yeah. All right, babe. Well, I love you. Thank you for doing this with me.
I love you.
I'm editing out the kiss actually. I can.
Let Jesus fuck you.